Attention Cloud9 shoppers, this is the Superstory Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast with Matthew Haas and Michael E. Cullen II.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the latest episode of the Superstory Podcast. My name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me today via phone is
Vivian Banks, proud mother of Hillary, Carlton, and Ashley, and proud aunt to William Smith.
I don't think that's who you are.
Pretty sure that's who I am, but I've been told, other times that I'm not who I say I am, so I don't know.
I think you're Matthew Haas.
Damn it, yeah, I think that's right. Sorry, my mind is getting scrambled again. I'm not sure what's going on. If you can tell by my voice, I'm kind of tired. I haven't really slept much in the past 3 days. I've been doing some undercover work for Tony Generous, and he's been very demanding of my time because, like I said before, time doesn't really exist where he comes from. So he still hasn't quite understood the concept of time here on our Earth. So it's kind of a learning curve for both of us. So
damn it, when you told me that I would have to call you for this episode, I was hoping that maybe you went to like Hawaii or somewhere else on vacation. I didn't know this was going to be some Tony Generous crap again.
Oh, I'm in Hawaii.
You are?
It's not really a vacation. I mean, it's more like a working vacation. But it's not crap this time. He's not. I haven't had any kind of like weird like hallucinations or any else kind of like visions or anything like that. It's kind of a normal. I'm basically doing his books for him. He's got a lot of weird purchases and just all kinds of weird financial stuff I have to kind of go through to make sure that he doesn't get audited for next year on his taxes. So yeah, it's not that fun really of a vacation, but it's okay.
All right. Well, I guess that's good. Anyways, do you want to get started on this? We'll jump into orientation here.
Yeah, sure. Let me just turn on this little machine I've made that makes it sound like I'm working, so that if he just decides to pop in, he can, sounds like I'm crunching numbers. All right, so let me just do that really quick right now. Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
Attention Cloud9 Associates, it is now time for orientation.
Do you think you can kind of start to recap what happened in this episode? First off, I'll tell you what the episode was. It was called Valentine's Day. It was the 13th episode of Season 2. It premiered on February 9th of 2017. It was directed by Tristram Shapiro, and written by John Kazalakis, something like that. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these names right, and I'm sorry if I'm not. Anyways, they seem like nice people,
Pretty sure they are.
Yeah. So, what happened in this episode, Matt?
Quite a bit have happened. That's the new phrase now. It's quite a bit. By the way, February 9th is Valentine's Day, where Tony comes from. He made me say that for some reason. I'm not sure why. See, what happens is it's Valentine's Day. One of the employees hired a flash mob to do like this huge presentation for his girlfriend who also works there. But it turns out that she was in the bathroom the whole time, so he had to start all over again, and they were just kind of like making fun of it, like, oh, like what kind of loser puts together a flash mob or whatever right next to Cheyenne. They're like, oh, but Bo's flash mob was actually really cool and unique. Cheyenne goes, yeah, flash mobs died out like a year ago. They're not cool anymore. And Jonah's like, yeah, flash mobs were cool a year ago.
That was great. A great opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so then he did this whole like dirty dancing flash mob is what it was. To propose to his girlfriend. Yeah. That was fun. Remember when flash mobs were a thing? Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately I do, yeah.
So yeah, and then we had like the main plot of the episode, I guess, was the fact that there was this door greeter named Arthur, played by Bernie Coppell, who you may know from Love Boat and Get Smart and a million other things. He seemed to have a little crush on Myrtle. And so Amy decided that she wanted to kind of set them up. This was after Glenn had tried to come up with ideas of people that he could set up in the store. And Amy had told him that it was a stupid idea and that people don't go to work to meet, their love interests. Yeah. Even though that happens all the time. But
it's such a bizarre.
So, Amy decides to make Cheyenne the door greeter now. And put Arthur over in like women's clothing or something with Myrtle. Yeah, so and then Cheyenne gets really excited about being the door greeter. Yeah. So yeah, what else happened in this, Matt? I know that there was couple other stories.
Yeah, I think there was about 3 stories in this episode. So there was that, and then there was Jonah got tasked by Dina to catch someone that's being a shoplifter, and at first, she says that he's not qualified. He's like, oh yeah, well, what do I do to be qualified? It's like, well, for one thing, you need to watch a video. He's like, I could watch a video, and she's like, yeah, I guess he could. So he watches a video, and then he pretends to be a customer, and he starts flirting with her, and then pretty soon he's not even doing the shoplifting thing anymore. He's just talking to her, and then at one point Glenn is like asking people like their advice about like who should be set up with who would be a good couple at the store, and then he shows up to Jonah, and Jonah's like, I think you have me confused with someone else. I don't work here. And then Glenn's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You look just like someone who works here. It's like, really, dude?
Oh, Glenn's so naive.
I know.
And then we had the story where Sandra was sending herself gifts from Jeff.
God.
And then basically making Mateo jealous for no reason, even though he's
like he knows.
Yeah. I like the one part, she gets a watch from him, and Mateo's like, it's a gold watch. He knows exactly what she likes. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Garrett was he talking to when he said
that?
And Garrett's like, oh, okay, whatever, dude. Yeah, this looks like really sad. Like Sandra has been like increasing the fake relationship with Jeff like every episode since she came up with the lie, and like I mean, like, the money that she spent on herself, like, was ridiculous. I think the flower arrangement was like $140.
Yeah.
And then she bought the watch, and then she bought like this really huge Valentine's. I don't know what was something like.
There was like a
big.
There was like a person dressed up as a big heart.
Yeah. Okay. That's right.
That came to visit her, and then at one point, like towards the end, it was puppies.
That's right. Puppy.
Yeah, but Cheyenne let Garrett know though during this episode that about the ruse that Sandra had going on. So found out that so Garrett now knows too that the whole thing's made up.
Right.
And so yeah, there's that, and then so as far as the Myrtle situation goes, though, Myrtle doesn't like Arthur, even though she told Amy to set her up with somebody if she knew anybody nice, and she doesn't like Arthur. Amy and Glenn put some stuff in her locker, like a duck and a sweater and some other stuff. And from him, and she's just like basically Arthur's been harassing her for all this time, and then she ends up reporting the Arthur and Amy and Glenn to corporate for sexual harassment, and yeah, then they end up having to watch a sexual harassment video after talking to Jeff on the phone.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because Glenn kept making it worse.
Yeah.
He kept saying, like, well, we couldn't hear what they were saying because the security cameras don't have audio. And then he's like, wait a minute, were you watching them on the video? He doesn't know. No, we were just watching them for our own pleasure. And the baby's like, you have to stop talking.
Oh, it was so funny. I love this show. Anyways, and they watch the video, and it's another one with MC Cool Cloud, and that looks like it was made in like 1989 or something, and pretty funny. Yeah. I don't know. It was a pretty good episode. At the end, they don't really show how that kind of like settles. I mean, we end the episode with Jonah and we got to go back. Basically, Mateo at one point, Jeff comes and visits, and he gives Mateo a gift, and basically defines the relationship where he says that he's his boyfriend. So
right,
yeah, so he gives him a keychain. And then Mateo's all cool, and he goes and plays with the puppies at the end. And after Garrett keeps getting on him about the whole thing, trying to make him feel worse and worse, and more jealous throughout the episode. I don't know, it was an interesting episode. And then at the end, they end with we find out that the woman that Dina finds out that Jonah has been flirting with that girl that they thought was the shoplifter. And they're about to go out on a date or something, and then Dina comes in dressed up and says that she was the wife of Jonah, and then spoils the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah. And at the very end, Jonah and Amy are cleaning up everything from and destroying all of the hearts and everything in the store because they, have to clean up from the holiday.
Yeah, then I think it was Brett was just setting up for St. Patrick's Day or something like that.
Yeah, there was like some Lucky Charms and other things.
Yeah.
So it was a good episode.
I like it. Yeah.
Anything else we missed here in this orientation?
Well, I think I could probably use that for like the favorite scene.
Oh, okay.
Part. So.
All right, let's. Why don't we take a break really quick, and then we'll come back with today's special.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Step 1. Dramatic introduction. I am Magus Elgar.
Magus Thatlor Elgar is one of the more respected casters in all of Hearth.
The dragon bone plate in my skull probably needs its focus enchantment aligned.
Though don't expect to go under his tutelage unscathed.
Well, you know what they say. Pretension can turn intention into the best retention.
Nobody says that.
No, not really.
You can hear Magus Elgar and his exciting adventures. Visit MagusElgar.com to download your copy today.
Hi, everybody. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast you're listening to right now. With me, as always, is
Matthew Hassa.
Yeah, and we're here to tell you about our really cool other podcast called All Too Real 2. And what do we do on that show, Matt?
We watched the greatest direct-to-video sequels of all time, and then we report on them.
And we also talk about other pop culture cool things like video games and conspiracy theories and other awesome things. So if any of that sounds fun to you and you enjoy hearing my voice and Matt's voice,
As
tune
you
in.
should. As you should.
I mean, of course. Tune in anywhere you get podcasts to All Too Real 2. Bye-bye.
And we are back. That was good. Anyways, so you want to jump right into today's special?
Sure.
Okay.
Attention Cloud9 shoppers, today's special is...
What was your favorite scene in the episode and why?
It was during the sexual harassment video / questions and answers.
Yeah.
Like that's what they watched the video, and then Amy is still like doubling down on like why she thinks she didn't do anything wrong because kind of what started this like seminar or whatever was Amy went to go apologize to Myrtle, but then she kept saying like, oh well, you know, maybe Arthur didn't mean it that way, and like, you know, basically pulling like the whole like, oh well, you know, just because he paid you a compliment doesn't mean that it's sexual harassment, like pretty much like playing that role. And then they're kind of arguing back and forth because like Myrtle's like, oh, I get it, blaming the victim. Like, no, I'm not blaming the victim. I'm not even saying that you are a victim. And she eventually says you asked for it.
Yeah.
So then that leads up to the video, and then Amy is still just, you know, doubling down on it and saying that I forgot what she said. And then Glenn says, well, you know, I asked my wife out on a date every single day for a year, and she said no. And Jeff's like, actually, that's actually a pattern of open hostility. It's like literally like the thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, I think it's like systemic something. I can't remember what it is, but it was just like,
a systemic pattern of hostility or something
yeah.
like that. And then they circle back to whoever's talking. I forgot who, and then because I think it's Amy. She just keeps like everything she's saying just is making it worse. Yeah. And then Glenn's like, I kind of just wanted to go back to what I was saying. I wasn't harassing her. It was it just turns out that my dad. She went out with me because my dad said for to fire her if she wouldn't. And they're like, oh my god! And then like later on, like he's calling Jerusha on the phone, and he's like, Jerusha, I just wanted to call you to let you know that our entire relationship was based on a sex crime or something.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, it's not funny, but like just like how they're portraying it, like how like
because it's not really. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess it could be if it's played out, but I mean, Jerusha, we learn later, does really love him. So
yeah, He's like, you were my first victim or something like that.
Yeah. I think my favorite, I mean, it's a simple scene, but it's actually just the end when Jonah and Amy are breaking all the stuff. Because it's a cute little scene, and you can actually see the kind of flirtation between the two of them.
Yeah.
And I like the little will they, won't they sort of thing with those two.
Yeah, definitely. Because they kind of, because Jonah says, like, Happy Valentine's Day, and then she says it back to him, and then they kind of just look at each other for like a second, and then she walks away.
Yeah, it was cute. I think more than anything, I don't know. I love, man.
Yeah, well, love, yeah.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, should we jump into the employee of the week?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Attention Cloud9 Associates, our employee of the week is...
Who was your favorite employee this week, and why?
I think my favorite employee this week was Carlton, because, he did that funny little dance he does where he kind of, like, snaps his fingers, does that little, like, leg movement.
Again, you're not Aunt Vivian.
Did I say was Aunt Vivian? God damn it.
Yeah, Carlton is a character on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
Played by Alfonso Ribeiro. But,
right. Sorry, jet lag. It was getting to me again. All right. Damn.
Yeah, we're talking about Superstore. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah,
so,
we haven't started our Fresh Prince of Bel-Air podcast yet.
Yeah, it's a very very fresh material.
Fresh, no pun intended.
Yes, 20-year-old show that ended like 22 years ago or whatever, or 24 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
We should do a podcast about it called The Not So Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yes. Yeah. I love that. But let's see here. Now I know where I'm at. I'm in Hawaii. I'm doing the taxes. All right, cool. So in this episode, JD or John Dorian, it was very emotional for JD in this episode because his brother shows up, and his brother's kind of like a quote unquote deadbeat brother, I guess that's a term, whatever. He used to look up to his brother, who's played by Tom Cavanaugh, who was also in the show Ed back in the early 2000s. And then he's also played.
Again, Matt, you're on the wrong show again.
I am. What was I talking about?
You're talking about Scrubs, and we're trying to talk about Superstore.
Superstore. God damn it! All right. I guess I'm more yeah. How do you say that word?
Discombobulated.
There you go. And I can't say whatever. More so than I thought. Okay, let me just select myself. What was the question?
Who is your favorite character in this current episode that we're talking about? The Superstore. Yes, Valentine's Day is the episode we're talking about.
Okay. All right, good. I would say it's Mateo.
Oh, okay.
Because the fact that he's getting jealous over something that he knows is fake.
Yeah.
Because he knows that Sandra is just making this up to get attention because she's just doubling down on this lie and this fantasy that she's created in order to, get people asking more questions about, her supposed love and/or sexual life with Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's getting mad at Jeff over the presents that she's obviously giving herself, and that's part of the reason too of why he was mad about the keychain that Jeff got him, because in his mind Jeff got her all these nice things for Sandra that Sandra obviously bought for herself. It's very bizarre.
Yeah, I think my favorite character is Joey. I really liked when he wore all of Chandler's clothes in this episode. And,
oh, yeah, that was good.
Wait.
Is
that right?
The one where they, is that the one where they both watch TV together on their Lazy Boy chairs?
No, it was the one where Ross had a big dinner thing and nobody was ready on time. And
oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. No, I think.
Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, Superstore. Anyways, I'm thinking it was actually Myrtle in this episode.
Cool.
I think I just like the whole little storyline they had with Myrtle in this episode, and they kind of let her shine in this, and how Myrtle-y she was. Myrtle-y.
Myrtle-y, I like that.
Yeah.
We should start calling her Myrtle Beach. It's like a dumb nickname. I don't know.
So, do you want to take another quick break here, Matt, and then we'll come back with our closing?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, we'll be right back, folks.
Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All Too Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So it
was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story.
Get it?
Get it?
Real.
You know? Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so sometimes we have a guest, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye.
And we are back. Okay. Let's jump into the closing here, Matt.
Attention Cloud9 shoppers. The store will be closing soon.
Sure. Closing time. That's it. That's all I know.
One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Anyways, okay, so let's, where are you, Matt? What's going on? Anything else you want to say about the episode before we move on?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, so where are you right now?
I'm in Honolulu.
Okay.
Hawaii. Yeah.
How's the weather there?
I don't know, because I'm pretty much built with no windows, and I'm in an office room doing Tony's ever widening, not ever widening, he's got a huge thing of text, like papers, like just boxes upon boxes of disorganized or unorganized receipts, and whether they're for business receipts or just for shopping.
Are you even good at math?
Not really. No, I'm not. I'm actually not that good at all, man. I'm not sure why I'm even doing this, but I've kind of developed a little bit of a system here. Trying to gauge what was the business purchase versus.
Are there matches there? Are there matches?
What do you mean matches?
Like the kind that'll set things on fire.
Like not Not in the room I'm at, no. I'm not sure why.
Because I was just going to say you should probably just burn all the papers.
Oh, well, he kind of wanted to be on the up and up. You know, he said something about, you know, he's been visiting Earth for about, like, 500 years, and he's never paid his taxes every time he's here helping, you know, various, you know, other people that try to find themselves. He's helping me find myself now.
Now, are these, like, just U.S. federal taxes, or are you paying, like, taxes because if he's been here for, like, 500 years, so is there, like, taxes back to, like, the, you know, back to the time when there was, you know, taxes without representation?
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to kind of gauge how much he owes during that time, too. It's kind of a hard system to figure out, but he said it's better to overpay and get something in back than to underpay and then get sent to jail or get fined or audited. But I told him, like, oh, well, you know, you're a spiritual being. You know, what can they do to you? I mean, you know, you owe them money, okay, but you know, what are they gonna? They went into this weird rant about interdimensional prisons, and you know, I told him, like, I'm pretty sure that the United States government, at least in this era of time right now, doesn't have anything at all like that in place. Then he said something about time travel and the Speed Force, and I'm not even sure what he's talking about there. And then I'm like, all right, dude, whatever, I'll do your taxes. Just, you know, quit talking about that stuff because I have no idea, you know, what you're trying to explain to me. This is way above the pay grade. He's not paying me at all. But whatever, you know how the phrase goes.
Did he pay for you to go to Hawaii?
No, I pretty much had to use my own savings to get here. I hope I'm in Honolulu, actually, because he recommended his own airline that I used to get there. And when I showed up to the airport, you know, it didn't seem like it was a real airport because you know, I typed in the directions on Google Maps, and you know, the address came up, but it didn't say, like, you know, airport or whatever. It just you know, the numbers came up, and it just showed me how to, you know, drive there, and I drove to the location.
Okay, so you actually did see outside of where you are. I was just making sure you weren't, like, taken somewhere blindfolded and you just don't know where you are, because I'm kind of
blindfolded.
While you were driving?
No, not while I was driving.
Oh, okay.
I drove to the airport in Ohio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, to get to that, but I don't think that was real airport. It was just like with some, like, it looked like just like a landing strip that was created recently to look like it was a landing strip.
So
and then
are you sure you actually traveled on a plane?
Yeah, it was a plane, but it didn't look like a really good one. It looked kind of like a really ratty looking plane, kind of like it was like you remember sorry, excuse me, I got cold now, but you remember the movie Major League?
Yeah,
with,
like that crappy Cleveland Indians plane.
Yeah, it looked like it was one of those, and so I'm like, okay, that's kind of a, you know, weird plane to take to Hawaii, whatever. So then we flew that there, and then at that point though, the pilot, or the co-pilot rather, about like 6 hours before we landed, he said, hey, you're gonna need to put this blindfold on because Tony doesn't want you to know exactly where we're landing, so that it would ruin the surprise.
So you had when did you get to take the blindfold off?
Well, I took the blindfold off when after I entered the room that I'm doing taxes right now. So that's when I took the blindfold off.
I might be wrong, Matt, but I have a really good feeling you're not in Hawaii.
Oh. Well, where was I flying all this time then? I
don't even think you were flying. I think you were just inside the plane, and they made it look like it was flying.
Well, how would I? Okay, that's a pretty. I mean, I know we took off. I'm pretty sure we did because everything looked like it was, I could see the trees and like the buildings and stuff like that.
Well, that could have been like a projection screen.
Well, I guess, yeah, because they said they were going to watch a movie at one point, so maybe, I don't know.
I'm just saying, if he's blindfolding you, you could be either in Hawaii or you could be still, in Ohio.
Right. It did look weird when a dog would pass through the window. I just thought the dog was flying. So I guess that makes more sense that I could see like a deer and a dog, going past the window. It make more sense that they were walking, on the landing strip.
Well, knowing that you might be in Ohio, it might be okay for me to try to come and find you sometime. So it helps me feel a little bit better. At least he's still letting you use your phone. Do you have a place to charge the phone and so we can do another episode sometime soon?
No, this is actually not my phone. This is someone else. Tony had a friend that he brought over, and he asked me to help do his taxes as well.
Oh, that's why I didn't recognize the number. It was still an Ohio number, though.
Oh, it was? God damn it.
Yeah.
Shit. Well.
But, I mean, that doesn't mean anything, because cell phones have, can have any kind of area code. So you could be anywhere. Okay. Or maybe you are still in Ohio. I'm thinking you're still in Ohio if you thought you saw flying dogs and deer.
Yeah, except now I'm starting to think about it. I'm not sure if deer are native to Hawaii.
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm kind of worried, but I tell you what, I think I'm going to end this episode here, Matt.
Okay.
And I may or may not be calling the police.
Okay.
The missing persons,
Right.
Because I'm kind of worried. But
if you can't, can you send Pop-Tarts if you can find the address?
What flavor?
Strawberry or chocolate fudge.
Frosted, of course, on both of those?
Oh, yes, of course, frosted.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. If we can get somebody to go to our Patreon page and donate to our show and get some cool perks that we have there, which will be listed in the show notes, or to our TeePublic page and get some cool t-shirts and merchandise. Or even if somebody just goes to, Apple or Google or one of those podcast platforms and gives us a good rating, I will save your life, Matt.
Oh, thank you.
With Pop-Tarts.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool. And
but if not, you're just going to have to sit tight there in that building.
All right.
Have they given you any kind of food?
Well, there was a expired can of sardines and mustard. I had that. And it wasn't that bad. I don't feel like I have food poisoning, so that's good.
Okay. Well, at least you're not dead yet.
Yeah. I think you should find me sooner rather than later because some of these receipts are starting to look a little shady, and I don't want to get too over my head and having knowledge of some of the more shall we say shady dealings of Tony Generous from the past 100 years. It looks like I'm seeing some names here, Mike. Some names that very familiar with the old mafia scene back in the day, 1950s, and I don't want to get involved in that. So,
have you come across any of Al Capone's tax receipts?
Several, in fact, yeah.
I mean, that is how they caught him.
He's not the one I'm looking at, though. He's the like I'm seeing. I saw a name. I think it said Meyer or something. Meyer or Lansky. Don't know the last name, but a lot of papers with his name on it. And that's kind of worrisome. So yeah.
Okay, well, tell you what, I'm gonna search for you, and hopefully by the next episode we will have found you.
All right, cool.
If not, we'll just have to do another episode, and I'll try to call this number again, and maybe we can do another episode over the phone.
Okay. And then, some other guy, picks up the phone. It's probably, his phone now, and he doesn't even know what we're talking about. So,
well, I'll try that. Maybe that'll happen.
Okay.
We'll see. Anyways, I think for right now the store is closed.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is the Super Story Podcast, a Superstore fan podcast.
A Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.